Hey guys, Chad Nash here with NashTech, and welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a live trading today. This is my first time doing this, so please leave your comments and let me know what you would like to see more of. Today we're just going to get started with basically trading equities. It's about 2 hours into the trading day, and just a quick disclaimer here, we're not really associated directly with NinjaTrader. We just had another disclaimer up as well. This is, of course, educational purposes only, and you can check out the disclaimer on our website as well. But basically, past performance does definitely not indicate future results. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Here, you can see me now. We're about 2 hours into trading day. It's 10 a.m. Mountain Time, so about 2.5 hours actually into the trading day. Today I wanted to go over a couple different things. You know, a lot of our setups are on our website, nashtech.xyz. They're all geared towards, algo bots and trades that are not necessarily going to run continuously. Like, for example, some of these setups might only run on a maybe once every day or maybe twice a week situation. Some of them run a lot more, often. We do have some setups though that run more on moving averages and on trends and set up more for intraday. So I kind of wanted to cover what I do when I'm trading equities with Algo trading and with our bots. And I'm going to leave you guys with a free download to one of the new bots we've just added. It's for crypto trading. So we'll just go ahead and get started here. So what are we looking for when we get started? Normally, let me just check this out here. Normally, whenever I'm looking at equities, I'm going to be keeping in mind a few things. I'm set up with interactive brokers, so I do pay commissions. And there's a few reasons why I do that. One is that the integration with NinjaTrader and interactive brokers is just really seamless. But because some of these setups are constantly, they're going to be running on a very steady, continuous setup, we definitely want to look at the spreads of these equities because, well, what happens when you're consistently going in and out on market orders, all right? There is options for limit orders on some of these, but you want to keep in mind, if you're going in and out 100 times and you're paying commission and you're always getting the bid and the ask, you don't want to have a 50-cent spread, okay? We're going to be testing today with Rinko bars with a few of our setups, and those need to be adjusted based on the time of day that you're at. And then we're going to be going live with a sim account, and we also want to be looking at execution time, because if your NinjaTrader PC is running multiple strategies and this type of setup that's continuously trading is not there to really execute those trades, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will get started with showcasing a few options here. One is I really like to back test against multiple instruments. Move this up here. You can do that in Strategy Analyzer directly by going into. Let me see why this thing is locking up. Of course, the main screen locks up on the day that the moment I attempt to start live streaming here. It's possibly just running a bit slow. Let me run this. So with any of our setups, you want to load this in Strategy Analyzer. You are going to go up to New, and then Strategy Analyzer window. Let me see what I can do. One of the first things I like to do is I like to get set up with finding the right things to trade on. Okay, so what does that mean for this? I use a scanner. I use Thinkorswim for my scanning which equities, or I'm looking for high volume. I'm looking for things that are standing out, that are moving very fast. I've added some special columns here to see a price change in the last 15 minutes, the last 5 minutes. You'll also see the spread difference. Okay, so a 2-cent spread is looking good with something that's changed a decent amount in the last 15 minutes. Something like a high spread is, again, that's going to be a pretty big concern. So I'm going to kind of build this list up and sort of see if I start to see things on multiple lists. That will kind of help me gear towards choosing some options. You can put these in a list, and then in NinjaTrader you can load that list up. I'm going to close down NinjaTrader real quick and reopen. You guys ever had to do that? All right. Let's see here. Just in case. Bear with me. Alrighty. Let me see here. NinjaTrader. So a few other lists here. Let's see. We're looking at, we could also load up there's one specifically for setups for maybe VWAP, high volume retracement, squeezes. We are going to be running some back testing today on squeeze, so let's see here. Signing in. Okay, all right, so yeah, like I said, I use interactive brokers for equities. I found TD Ameritrade's the integration with NinjaTrader is not really that clean. You can't change OCO orders. You really can't adjust anything related to the order after it's been going on. Okay, so let me cut out here. And we are going to be trading. We could do live, but we are probably just going to be doing sim accounts as well. So better off with the sim account to get started with, and then we'll go from there and see, what we like to do. Okay. Let's see here. So as we find this list, this growing list, SGBG, I don't know if that's going to have enough volume. Let's find see if we can load up an extra item here. Let's see, I like maybe this up or down of 3%. Is that what we're already using maybe? Near, high, low. We want high volume setups. Let's see. Stock halting, trendish, VWAP setups. Just trying to figure out the best, highest volume setups. Opening range breakouts, this would be good on a higher volume. Let's see what that looks like, see if we have any. We have a few. Netflix is going. Okay, so just for the sake of an example, we can take a few of these. We could take Netflix, that'd be okay. Doesn't necessarily have too high a volume, but we're going to be getting a decent number of trades. I mean, it's going to have high volume, it's Netflix. But, all right, let's go then to Strategy Analyzer. So in NinjaTrader, that's Tools, Strategy Analyzer. It's going to load up at some point, somewhere on my screen. I do have some live trades going on in futures at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep that live. Nothing too crazy. A little bullish. We'll see a few contracts. All right, did this load? Strategy analyzer. So what I normally like to do in this situation is load up some things that I want to run that are not going to be continuous trading. So, maybe Epic Squeeze, maybe Epic Bid. I will optimize those, but I won't necessarily. All right, so there we go. All right, so let's take over here and let's look at doing Epic Squeeze. Okay, so I'd already saved some back testing for this. One thing that's really nice to do in Strategy Analyzer is you can look at the past results. So I really like to use that. So what I will do is scale here to show log. And you'll see all the past optimizations. So crypto bot strategy. This crypto bot's the one I'm going to be giving away at the bottom of the video here. And Epic Squeeze against quite a few different setups here. This particular one was running on mRNA. Epic Squeeze here is, load up the default. I was testing this using Rinko bars for the squeeze, which is kind of a unique setup. You can download templates as well at nashtech.xyz/templates, kind of get you started. Let's just see what this would look like. This looks like PayPal with the last brick size of 12. Again, this brick size changes pretty drastically throughout the day for the Rinko bars. So you'll have to re-optimize at different times. So this is looking good. This is something I would want to set up on a sim. Let's look for Netflix. Let's see what that's looking like. If this was, so this was looking at only a week's of back testing. It also looks pretty good. 54 trades. I like that. That's pretty decent. 8 trades per day. Average time in the market less than 2 minutes. So again, I don't necessarily trust anything Strategy Analyzer tells you. You really can't. But this is something that I would want to then set up on a live sim account type situation, because let's see, how many trades? 9 trades a day. We're not going to sit around and do that on this particular live session here, because it's going to get boring. We're just going to be waiting for those. But let's go ahead and set it up so that we can see it running live on the sim, and then from there we will. I'll actually change it to be using a setup that is going to run more continuously, so we could have it running right away. All right, so we're going to save this. We're going to name this Netflix Intraday Epic Squeeze. So we have a whole video on Epic Squeeze and what the squeeze indicator and squeeze strategy is sort of set up on. It's Bollinger Bands and the momentum oscillator, things like that. And when a stock is kind of coming out of continuation, nice. Looks like we might hit our target up there. We'll see. I've left a pretty wide gap there. We'll see how that goes on the MNQ 5 contracts. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up. So we saved it. Now there's multiple ways of enabling a strategy. One is to actually go into the strategies tab inside NinjaTrader. The other is to actually just load it up on a chart. So let's do that. And we had the brick size of 12 and 4. All right, so let's do this. Netflix. All right, let's change the brick size in here. As it slows down, you're going to get more setups with smaller brick sizes, but you don't always want that. If it's beginning of the day or the last half hour of the day, you definitely want probably a brick size of 16, 20, maybe more. Depends on the setup too. On this, you want to backtest it. You want to backtest it as much as possible with Strategy Analyzer, the optimization part of Strategy Analyzer, things like that. We are not getting any data on this. Why not? We are here. That's weird. Oh, it's because I have at Netflix. Whatever, people. All right, so brick size. As I said, we wanted 12 and 4. So we will change this to be 12. By the way, this Rinko is this NinjaTrader Rinko. If you just Google that, or if you Google Rinko bars, I'll include a link to it in this video as well. All right, so this is live, up and running. That's the price at the moment. It's a decent spread, so not something I would want to be immediately engaging epic trends. Epic trends is the other indicator we're going to do next. But I wanted to show you for epic squeeze. So we're going to load up. This is going to enable us to see how we can run epic squeeze in both a live or in a manual mode and also in a non-manual mode. All right, so we're going to load up epic squeeze on the strategy, clicking the strategy's link, load the template, Netflix intraday, epic squeeze. All right, so display arrows on chart. I don't know if there's anything else. Let's see, we're doing market orders. The good news is any of these settings, the take profits, any of these other settings, set stop loss to break even after so many bars, exit after so many bars regardless. You do want to be careful with this one because in profit, this will take profit. If you're on a 5-minute candlestick, you want this maybe set to 7 or 8. It's going to take profits after 7 or 8 directions in your favor. But in the terms of Rinko bars, you would be stopping out all the time. So it's going to have 7 red bars, 7 green bars. If you look, this is only, if you look at this chart right now, from this whole, let's just go with this whole setup of the green Rinko here. This is at 10:15 and 28 seconds. This milliseconds. This is now 10:16. This is only a 1-minute bar. This is also good to look at if you look at it from a perspective of a 5-minute chart or something. If you put it up to give you perspective, you don't want your setups trading every 15 seconds in and out. You're going to start to get hiccups. Orders will be left, held, canceled. The reversals will, you're not going to be able to. The bot can trade very, very fast, but you're not going to be able to keep up with that. Or it could lead to problems. All right, so back into strategies. Leave everything else pretty much the same here. We have a trailing stop loss of 35 ticks. This is if it enters. We don't really care. We don't necessarily have to enable the time filter at the moment or the exit because we're going to be here. We're not going out to lunch. All right, we're going to leave it on a SEM account for now. Okay, so we enable it and we wait. So when we enable it, it's going to take a minute for it to, this is highlighting large tails, by the way. There's an option to exit on large tails. Okay, so this exited here, exit long bear tail. It was long here. Okay, it exited here. Again, this is the squeeze, so you are not going to have as many setups as some other setups we're going to do here today. But it says about nine trades per day. Pretty profitable in terms of Strategy Analyzer would tell us. I don't trust it, but it's a good start. You at least want to start with a profitable setup here. All right, so let's move along now to what to do next. All right, so even though it is set up at the moment to be trading live. I want to go to Sim 101. If it's not entering any positions, you still have options here. You could disable the bot because maybe you want to be trading it manually. You don't, if you don't want the bot trading, these are also good panic buttons. If you see something trading and you want it out and you want it to stop, you can immediately click disable. All right, so you still have some control even though it's algo trading. You can still go short or long, right? It'll still exit according to the specs of when it would have exited. The strategy itself is actually the one going long. Don't be confused by going long by pushing here and going long by buying here, because if you're using NinjaTrader, you're not using the strategy. So the strategy can't close those positions, or it would just disable the strategy. If you go long here,
order submitted.
It's going to, let's see how it does. If it stops out, we're done. There's a pretty tight stop loss for a trailing stop on this.
Order submitted.
It actually went in by itself this time because likely was coming out of a squeeze or. Okay, so it's up and running. It's green in the green for the exact moment. I'm assuming with the trailing stop. I'm assuming with the trailing stop that it's going to be stopping out quite a bit. All right, so that's how you can do this manually though. And we can disable the strategy here.
Order submitted.
Okay, when we disable the strategy, it should go flat. Okay, something's taken over. Actually, this could also be, I have other strategies running on this. I think it could be another strategy I have turned on.
Order failed.
Let's see here. Yeah, all right, so we were closed out. That was just kind of a good example of how to enable that for Epic Squeeze. If we want to get crazy now, we're going to enable Epic Trends, and this is going to be running continuously more. So this is where I was saying we do want to be checking on things like the spread, things like that. This isn't the greatest example of the stock because the spread's so high, the price is so high, but it's okay. We already have it loaded. All right, so this is called Epic Trends. We're just going to load the default setup. This is pretty much using moving averages, but if you optimize the setup for the day, so if we ran Strategy Analyzer right at the moment, and let's go ahead and do that against Netflix. Let's run it over here. Lots of windows. All right, cancel. All right, so we've got Epic Trends. We will run this against Netflix. Let's see. Rinko. Okay. Brick size of 12. Well, we're just going to do a quick test. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to do for the last day, because this is going to be something more of a continuous type trading setup. So let's just do today. From today to today. Okay, and let's see. We hit run. You can find all of these setups nashtech.xyz/trial. Okay, so this says it would have done quite well, but again, do we trust it? Never. Yeah, right. It's only one day, right? So this would have had, when I say it run continuously, I mean really run continuously. This would have had 722 trades today. Okay, that's too much to not concern me for a little bit of problems. Actually, if it's running smooth, it can do it. If if you increase this brick size, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to increase the results, but if you increase the brick size, we are definitely going to have fewer trades. All right, so now, yeah, we only have, we're still in the green. We got 121 trades. So, yeah, that's a lot more. That's still a lot, but that's worth exploring. So, how would we optimize this now for the setup as far as reverse signal, continuous? Which one's going to work best? Well, you can try and backtest individually which one's like this, but it's best if you then go to optimization. We will select minimum 8. Let's say for the first moving average, let's go up to 14. The volatility period is only if you're not using HMA, if you're using one of the other moving averages that uses volatility. So let's just test with an EMA as well and an SMA. By the way, when it comes to this, we're not going to do secondary moving average at the moment. When it comes to this setup here, let's say entry type, continuous, and reversal, we're going to avoid, just for the sake of testing this, we're going to avoid the maximum spread problem here. Well, I mean, we don't want it to be more than $1. Okay, so for example, profit target, as you're setting this, you don't have to expand this in an optimization. You could type in 50, and then I think it's a semicolon, and then to 300, and then in increments of 25. So you can do it both ways. You can type it in, or you can, I think it's a colon, not a semicolon. I know, it changed. You see, 50, 325. You can go through there and just type it in and then hit tab. You don't have to go and push this, click this, click this, click this. Little tips for strategy optimization. All right, so we'll leave the stop loss where it's at. We'll just leave all the other defaults. So we mostly changed the moving average from this. Again, this is a moving average of Renko bars, which is really the price, not necessarily the same on a 5-minute chart. All right, this is running pretty fast. We're going to get results here in just a minute. And this is going to tell us that it would have preferred an HMA of 14. 102 trades. Again, this is only running against today's data. And this is only running against Netflix. That was a little bit more profitable and fewer trades. You can go in here and look at all of this, the real details as far as when it would have executed. Doesn't necessarily know when it would have been filled. So again, this is the kind of setup now that you would want to go on a live sim account. So get ready, because once we save this and we run it, it's going to run continuously. It's going to run fast. It's going to show you how fast it can trade, which is good. I think we had this on 40 to 40 Renko bars for our brick size. All right, so take this out of the way. We got Netflix here. We want to change the data series to be the same as what we just optimized against. 40 and 4. Load this up. Okay. This is called Epic Trends. Load this up. Okay, that's going to give us continuous, 14 HMA, enabling long, enabling short. We allow the bot to trade right away. Continuous, which means continuous. It's going to be changing. Every single time you see this, well, you'll see the moving average change. Let's see. We do have the time filter enabled, but we'll just ignore that because we might hit that time. This is a separate integration that's in beta for integration with Alpaca. One thing that's very important here you don't want to miss is this setting that says enable. If you don't see the buttons come up after some time, go ahead and make sure that you would check this. When you come back in here, this should be grayed out. If it's not grayed out, it's not enabled. All right, so here I'll give you an example. You hit OK. You wonder why nothing's going on. Okay, you don't see anything. Come back in here. This is not gray. So we now go down. We choose enabled. All right. Was this giving us similar results in the historical setting? No. All right, so we'll see if this executes. Again, because the bar size is that large, it may not, I guess, trade as fast.
Order submitted.
We'll see. There we go. Actually, I'm not so sure it executed. We may have had this set to a limit order.
Order submitted.
We are short. All right, for the sake of seeing this thing fly by,
Order failed.
let's see it. If we were on a Rinko of like 12, we're going to get a lot more. And let's make sure we have it set to market orders, because otherwise it's not going to enter unless, this is saying only enter if you're 3 bars, 3 ticks below the bid price. Market orders is going to give us a lot of slippage, so I'm not saying you want it to be that, but for the purposes of showing you this trading for algo trading in such a fast method, you're about to see this thing fly now. Profitable? We don't know. It's short. We're up 14.34. It's already long. What's good about this setup with Epic Trends, I suppose, is that with a trailing stop and also in reverse, you're not really making any money here, but you are getting out with some profit because it reversed here and you were in the green a little bit. I don't know how much, but a little bit. And that's hopefully going to cover your commissions. See, we're in the green here again, $23. So even if we get, if we stop out, it's gonna change. As soon as it changes to short on the bricks for the Rinko, this is where it's going to be very different. I mean, you're not always looking at a 5-minute. These aren't typical candlesticks or the setups.
Order canceled.
We're short. So do we lock in $20 there? We'd have to really go and see how it looked. Likely, we're at a pretty good loss over here. If we're going in and out that quickly, what that really means when you're going in and out that quickly really means you need to be adjusting your brick size to be longer, so you're in a lot longer. I changed the brick size because I wanted to show it trading on a very fast, continual basis. Let's right click, see what this would have looked like. I highly doubt, I don't think that this looks very, I don't think this looks very realistic, you guys. What do you think? You think we would have made $48,000 today on 1,800 trades? I don't think so. I do not believe that for a minute. All right, so it's live, it's running, it's doing its thing.
Order canceled.
It's now long. You really get caught up in this chop, it's no good. You want a big long strand. So now we're up $50 here, so that's very good, right? From a perspective of you know, what my gut would say, I want out right now, take my profits, right? Disable bot, turn off. But this is why you want to let this thing run for a bit and do its thing. You're likely when this reverses, you've locked in some profits. I did run this the other day with AMC,
Order
and it
canceled.
locked in a solid $400 for the day, and it was a live account, so that was good. It was nice. But so the next step would be, once you've tested this on a sim for a while, go with the quantity you feel comfortable with for leverage. 100 shares of Netflix is not, you know, where I want to be with my risk level. But you know, change that to be what you would want it to be. You do have to keep the commissions in mind with that, because you are going to be, you don't just want to be trading, you know, one share at a time if you're paying commissions per trade.
Order canceled.
Let's change this maybe to AMC. We'll go back to the stock scanner and see.
Order canceled.
This should disable the bot because we've switched instruments, and then re-enable the bot since the strategy's on here. Let's see what this has looked like. Again, if we change this brick size to be smaller, we're going to get more trades, not necessarily better at all. Less, probably. I like trading at this time because it's slowed down a bit. In the morning, you don't really know. It's just a ton of volume, right? It's now a good amount of time into the trading day. The volume slowed down a bit. You can see the volume on Rico. Let's add in volume. Of course, Rico bars are going to be trading very differently than your average candlesticks. And this is just what I wanted to highlight today with Rico bars. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is the best setup. We could change this epic trends to be on a 5-minute chart if we wanted. I don't know if it would perform as much as well. We will disable the strategy. We should have been closed out, but we're not.
Order failed.
All right, so AMC, let's go on a minute chart. We'll get some trades. Minute, 1 minute. Definitely don't need to replay. We will go back. This is zero optimization, running epic trends. It doesn't show up here, by the way. We have it hidden because of some variables down here. We don't want it shown related to the alpaca integration. If you're wondering why it looks blank. Okay, so we'll leave everything else the same, and we will just enable it. In this particular setup, there's also specifically just moving average crossovers. You can have the secondary moving average in there. Again, this is a pretty basic setup, really. You do have a lot of options for what moving average is and the setup, but nothing too overly complicated here. A lot of our setups, epic bid, epic profits, they're looking for very specific patterns and very specific setups that are really only going to run very few times. Maybe once a day, maybe twice a day, maybe 10 times a day, maybe once a week. I don't know. Depends on the setup, right? All right, so we've now went long 100 shares of AMC. And we will let it do its thing. Something like this with this kind of setup could reverse a lot. And it's not going to go as fast as the Rinko because you're waiting for this bar to close. and this is a 1 minute bar. So it's gonna be 1 minute. Might be nice if we went back to our scanner, I guess, and found maybe some really fast moving setups. Let's see. What would be facing? Man, Spirit lately, that's been one. Let's see how that's pulling up. Let's add a tab. That baby. Let's see. This has been kind of a meme stock lately. Let's just do the last 5 minutes on a 2 minute chart. Yeah, wow, that took a pretty big dip. This has not been able to be shorted when I tried the other day. I went long, did okay with it. I don't think it's moving as fast as it was then. All right, let's see what is moving fast at the moment. Load scan, I should have prepared. High volume, down 15, high volume up 15. Santander, it's nothing too crazy. Netflix is still on there. CHK. So the idea would be to get about 5 or 10 of these, put them in an instrument list inside NinjaTrader, and then run it so that you can see with multiple ones on a sim account, you're going to want to see which ones are profitable, which ones are not. Run it for an hour, and then if you feel like the market conditions are similar and it's quite profitable and you feel comfortable, you can enable it on a live, regular account. There's always going to be differences between market replay, strategy analyzer, strategy optimization. When it comes to live sim accounts,
Order canceled.
and when it comes to, so it just reversed again, or it just closed that position. It's going to wait a bar, I think. Or maybe it's already in a position now. Yep, we're short now. This can go extremely fast. If we had this set to, let's go seconds. Let's do 15 seconds. This is going to be fun. Ready for this?
Order canceled.
All right. So these bars are going to start flying out here because we are on a 15-second chart. All right, so if you want to take a look at any of these, we have different setups. You're welcome to check out NashTech.xyz / trial. We'll get you a new. So let's see. We have different videos on different ones. NashTech.xyz, NinjaTrader, Epic Bid. This is going to be bidding low or bidding in a range. Epic Bounce, Epic Entry. I've done videos on Epic Follow, Epic Profits, Epic Squeeze. I've done videos on all those. I have a new one coming out for Epic U-Turn. So if you go into these and go check out the videos, check out the strategies, and these are all set up for algo trading. All of them can be fully automated. All right, so I think we closed the position. I don't know if that is from a live. I don't like hanging orders out there. Let's just see what that is on execution. So if you have any comments, please leave them. I'm going to start doing these at least once a week. And if we start to get, maybe if we open up a Discord or start to get any chat, any of your input, I would be happy to start following instruments. Maybe we could start trading, together. Looks like That MNQ position is not looking so great at the moment. We'll see. I'm going to leave it open. We'll see how it does. All right. So, any questions, feedback? Please let me know. And if you're scared to go live, or if you're looking at wanting to do more your own setup or something, your own algo, please reach out to us. We do a lot of these custom development. So just go on our website and go to the contact us, get a quote there, and we will be in touch. Let me see if I can download a free trial, optimize, enable, go live. All right, we will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.